Welcome to the Horse Talk Show! Have you ever seen a horse who could talk? With your host, Louisa Barton, who really wants to be a famous rider. She really loves to ride fast. Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care.
Truth is, I have horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton! Enjoy the show.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancing Pete Roeder from Complimentary Horsemanship. Thanksgiving week. Hope you have a lot to give thanks for.
Yes, ma'am.
I give thanks for you, Pete.
I give thanks for you, Louisa, and this show. I enjoy myself every week.
It's a great time. So we've got a lot of wonderful things to share with you this week. We actually have two very good friends of mine in the studio. I should say of ours. Ours, yes. Tamie Leedy from Open Hands Animal Rescue and Neil Hennessey from Ocala Dog Ranch. ODR and OHAR, lots of O initials. Oh, how wonderful that they're here.
Thanks for making it confusing now.
I know, right? We have Dr. Adam Cayot in the second segment. We actually have a pre-recorded interview with him on fall problems in horses. When I said fall, when I said fall, he thought I said fall, autumn issues in horses.
Okay, autumn issues, because I thought you meant fall issues, like they fell.
Like fell. Yes.
You and your English accent.
Well, you know, when I first moved over here to America, I didn't even know it was called fall, because in England it was only called autumn. So I've had to get used to that. But it is fall with a capital L, and it's not a foal. And it's all the things that happen in the fall or autumn to horses if you're not careful. So we also have top US junior eventer, Reagan Samson. We interviewed her at World Equestrian Center, and what an amazing young lady she is, cool and fun and so successful. So we are chatting to her a little bit about her horse and her life. And I love the program and the riding school that she's in, Hanover. A farm, absolutely a wonderful young lady, so I'm very excited for you to be introduced to her. We have Pat Myers Electric, episode 4.
Whoop, whoop. Sorry. It got electric in here.
I know, really. Well, he's got all your current barn needs under control, so you'll really enjoy that. It'll be electrifying. And then we're going to wrap it up in the final segment. We have Pete's Horsemanship Tip of the Week, and then we also have your Tip of the Week from Ocala Dog Ranch. And I'm really thankful that Neil's able to be here with us this week, because I think he has a lot of dogs this week for the holidays. And just to add to that little funny story I'm going to tell you later about my dogs this week, so don't let me forget. So first of all, let's talk about some events that are coming up. The event that Tamie, Neil, and ourselves here will be talking about is an adoption event, mega adoption event, I might add, and that is Help Us, Help Them this holiday season. We're in the holiday season now, and you know, once we hit Thanksgiving, it flies by fast. So this is coming up December 2nd.
Early Christmas gift.
Yes, and look, if it is an early Christmas gift, it's a forever gift. Just remember that.
And better to get them early than try to get them Christmas Day.
When it's chaotic.
When it's chaotic and you have everything.
Wrapping paper and decorations and all kinds of madness.
You don't want to be taking them out while you're thinking about Christmas before the surprise.
And the amazing part about this is at Ocala Dog Ranch. Well, it couldn't be in a better place, because they're going to have dog dock diving, they're going to have food trucks and vendors, December 2nd, 11 to 2 p.m. That is 440 Southwest 110th Avenue, and Humane Society of Marion County, Open Hands Animal Rescue, Wanda Cares Rescue, are all going to be there. Sheltering Hands, did I miss one? I think I got them all. And this is an opportunity to adopt an unwanted dog and give it an amazing home forever. So Barn Buddies.
Soon to be wanted.
That's right.
Dog.
A dog's journey to a new home adoption event. So we're very excited about that. December 2nd. Make sure you go down there. And then for entertainment and fun, you can watch the dock diving as well, which is dock diving.
Not the duck diving.
Dock diving. And Strirrups and Strides also has their annual event coming up on the same day. You've got time to go home, get cleaned up, get dressed up, and go to Bootleggers, Jackpots, and Jazz.
So
also
this is
December
the
2nd.
1920s.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing the Charleston.
Yeah, we can't say the 20s anymore.
No, because
we're in the 20s.
We're in the 20s.
5 p.m. This is on a Saturday, so you can pop home from Ocala Dog Ranch, wash all the dog hair off, and head over to this and have a good time and celebrate and support the therapeutic riding. This is their annual event, and it is usually absolutely phenomenal.
To raise money for a good cause.
Exactly.
Where
and
you
have
go.
a good night out.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have fun. I guess they have professional dancers coming out.
Like more professional than you?
More professional than me. They're gonna teach people how to do the Charleston.
And since we're talking horsing around, we had an amazing equine initiative event last week at Big Sexy Stables. And the resume of the gentleman that was driving with Candy is just off the charts. And he's going to be in the studio with us before the end of the year. David Saunders there in his very British-looking attire. He was actually the coachman to Princess Diana and Prince Charles when they got married, would you believe? And coachman to His Royal Highness Prince Philip, coachman to Her Royal Highness Majesty the Queen, God rest her soul. And what a cool guy to have there at this event. When he came up and I handed the microphone, everybody looked at his resume and went, the things that happen in Marion County. It's unbelievable.
The picture, if you're listening, you're not going to see the picture, but if you're watching, the picture looks like you're doing reining horses, not
Well, it was raining on us.
Oh, it was
raining on us. Well, no, the funny thing is Candy G called him that morning and said, what are we going to do if it rains? And he said, if I didn't drive the carriage in England when it was raining, I would never have driven the carriage.
I was going to say, I've taught in Maine, and I've had friends from England, and they don't even get on a raincoat when it rains. They're like, this is every day.
He was a really good sport, and he came up and told us some cute little things about the royal family, and he horsed around with Bubbles from J&S Pressure Washing, and he had his proper English garb on, as you can see. It was a wonderful experience. But Candy G and her husband Dave, what a wonderful job they did hosting that event despite the weather. We got to see the aeroplanes, be in the hangar, meet David, and then a saxophone player from Miami Sound Machine was there too. So,
wow.
we just had it. We had it all going on, That was their plane they built, actually, which is really neat. And they went on a 26-day trip in that plane across country. So it was a great event. And while we're speaking of Gypsy Vanners, the very first massive field trip that began with a memorandum of understanding between the CEP and the Marion County Public School System was underway at the Gypsy Gold Farm Tour. 121 students and 30 teachers visited on Friday. And there's Dennis Thompson, who's the best host ever. He brought the very first Gypsy Vanners to America from England. He brought 16.
That doesn't look like a gypsy.
No, that's a mammoth mule, Pete. And he actually got the breed registered here as a breed and named it Gypsy Vanner. He and his late wife Cindy were the first people to bring that horse over. They actually were in the gypsy camps in England and became friends with the gypsies, and now the breed is here, and they have the most amazing farm tour. It's the #1 thing to do on TripAdvisor in North Central Florida, and it's like number 12 after the Disney parks, which is quite incredible.
Wow.
Yeah, 12 in Florida after all the the kind of the Disney.
So were you there with it?
I was.
Oh, figured.
And
there's some
yes,
cause.
it was a great experience, and Dennis and Erin did an absolutely phenomenal job, and the kids had a blast and learnt so much. So hats off to them. We have to go to break, and we're going to be back in just a few minutes with Dr. Adam Cayot talking about autumn issues in horses. Stay with us.
This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference. Horsemen, are you tired of technology that doesn't fit your way of life? Lip Chip, built by horsemen for horsemen, is ready to revolutionize your world. The answer is in the HoofLink system. Simply implant, scan, and unlock your horse's health information. From driving to Grand Prix jumping, all horses, all breeds, and all disciplines. The future is in the integrity and transparency of all horse sports and in the safety of our horses. The future is here, and the future is Lip Chip. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Louisa Barton here for the CEP's Equine Initiative and the Horse Talk Show on Equus Television, and we are chatting to Dr. Adam Cayot at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And I was going to say we're going to talk about fall stuff, but Dr. Cayot thinks that sounds like foal because of my accent. So we're going to go with autumn issues in the horse world.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
What autumn can bring on? Probably change of weather. I see you're wearing a jacket.
Yes, exactly. Change of weather. Much needed change of weather,
yes,
thankfully.
Exactly.
A little break in the heat. So the most common thing we see in the fall or autumn is horses that have metabolic issues. Laminitis is the number one problem. And the reason is obviously those horses have problems regulating their sugar and metabolizing sugar that they consume. So as the grass becomes more dormant, the grass then concentrates its sugars, and so it concentrates its sugars typically in the fall and in the spring when it's coming out of dormancy. And so they're just out there munching away, and you have no idea that the sugar content is twice of what it was 3 months ago. And so they're loving life, and then all of a sudden you notice that your horse didn't come up out of the field or is having a hard time walking to the feed tub. That's typically the way I get, Sonny didn't want to walk up to the feed tub, or he's walking really slow and that sort of thing. So then we go out and typically they're having a bout of laminitis. The other thing that happens around here is all the oak trees lose their acorns. And so horses are out there eating acorns, munching acorns. Acorns are technically toxic to horses, but they have to eat a whole lot of them, toxic to their kidneys. But the other problem is it's like a concentrated feed, and it makes it really difficult. You have these beautiful oak trees out in the field.
We love the oak trees.
You love them, right? But that can present an issue as well. Knock on wood, I've not had, I've been down here 22 years now. I haven't had one acorn toxicity, so it's not very likely to happen, but the textbooks will tell you that acorns are toxic.
What should someone look out for with symptoms with that if they were concerned?
Well, just general malaise, you know, they won't, they'll be acting sick, depressed, they may run a fever, those sorts of things. Then typically veterinarian will come out, pull blood, and, you know, a complete panel will typically show an issue with the kidneys, or the kidneys are kind of under siege, so to speak. And you can kind of deal with that as needed. So that's generally what happens. It's not like anything dramatic, like they become neurologic or anything like that. They just generally start getting sick. But far and away the most common thing in the fall is laminitis issues. And if you know you have a horse that is metabolic, you need to start being aware of that and maybe consider keeping them in off the grass for a number of hours during the day. At least get a grazing muzzle so that limits the amount of grass that they can get to, and try to prevent it that way. Certainly, you know, we have drugs that can help, you know, with metabolic horses, but the number one thing is diet for those guys. And
I'm glad you said that, because that is so important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it can be controlled. Probably 95, 98% of horses that are metabolic can be controlled with diet.
A lot like people.
Yeah, exactly. So do that. You feel bad for them because they basically have to either stand in a stall or have to be in a
grazing muzzle,
dirt lot or a grazing muzzle, you know, for a long time. But
he's a star.
You have to just be aware and know that, you know, you feel sorry for your horse, but you're doing the best thing for their health.
Right.
They don't understand it.
Right.
So, you know, you got to help them out there.
Yeah,
so.
True fact. And if you have a round pen or an arena area that's got dirt and less grass,
those are
that's
great.
always an option too, if you can do that. Now, in the fall and beginning of winter, when the temperatures start dropping, horses tend to drink less water.
Yeah.
So that's something to be really aware of as well, because of things like impactions and that sort of thing.
That's a good point. Yeah. So they do drink less water, and I had a run on impactions probably the last 2 weeks. Last 2 weeks, I probably saw 6 horses that had impactions, and that's true. And so a couple of things happen. Number one, they aren't as hot, so they aren't drinking and they aren't sweating as much. The water can get cold, and they don't want to put their noses in cold water, and then the grasses dry out, so we lose the rain, and we lose all the moisture that's in the grass, and then
we usually up the hay because there's less grass for them to eat, so we give them more hay.
Exactly. So and then that's the time that the round bale goes out there, and they start binging
Scorping
on that.
that down.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they go from a nice summer grass, a lot of moisture, a lot of water, to fall grass, which is we're basically in a drought right now, and there's no moisture at all, and then they don't drink on top of it, and
I'm a big fan of the compressed bales. If you can feed Timothy or alfalfa, if you're used to feeding to your horses, the compressed bales is a nice slow graze way, rather than dumping a whole roll out there that they can just gorge. They actually can go slower with a compressed bale, so that's a good thing to be careful about. And then I add a little bit of Himalayan salt to the feed at this time of year to encourage them to drink a bit more, which is another option to help.
Exactly. Make sure they have access to a salt lick of some sort, or put it on their feed, and that'll encourage them to drink more.
Yeah. Wonderful. So those are the most common autumn problems.
Yeah, autumn problems. Exactly. And I've seen all of them this autumn.
I'm sure.
Already,
yes.
multiple times.
You have indeed. So you can avoid them, hopefully, with some of these suggestions. That is a beautiful horse coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Louisa Barton here for the Horse Talk Show and the CEP's Equine Initiative with Dr. Adam Cayot at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Dr. Cayot always does such a phenomenal job sharing with us
the autumn
issues. Yes, and he had just dealt with a few. I'm dealing with a laminitic case. Pete,
I've got 2 horses that are thin-soled and may go laminitic, so yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Having horses is it's worth it.
It's
challenging, but it's worth it.
Every time you think everything's gonna be good, I was looking forward to the next couple weeks. I was like, everything's smooth, everything's going good, and boom. Yeah. Nope, it is not.
It happens with horses. It's it can be challenging. But this time of year, it's just important to be aware. We've got things happening, weather changing, hot and then cold, and not really cold, but cooler.
And we're in Florida, where you can have summer pop up anytime during the winter.
This is true. Yes, it does happen, and when it does, you got to be aware of those changes and how they affect your horse. Your horse might be drinking a lot because it's hot, and then it suddenly goes cold, and your horse is like, no, I don't really want to drink a lot anymore. And that rapid change, as Dr. Cayot and I discussed, you increase the hay because the grass is less, so you're increasing the hay, which is more dry matter going through your horse, and all of a sudden your horse is not drinking as much because he's not as hot. And so we as humans tend to sometimes interact too much with, we're trying to cater to their needs because we want to avoid a problem, and sometimes we create it. So, just being really mindful of that. And Dr. Cayot mentioned, adding a salt block. If you don't like regular salt, there's lots of options. Seminole Feed has Himalayan, and one I love, Redmond, is one I love, with the Redmond Rocks and the Redmond Loose Salt at Seminole Feed stores, that I'm a regular purchaser of that, and keep them on that. As soon as the weather cools down, they're back on the Redmond salt in their feed, so you can run down to Seminole Feed stores and
well, you
pick
know what
that
that
up.
sound means.
It means I need to be quiet,
And
we can take a break.
Move on to the next segment.
And we are going to come right back with Tamie Leedy and Neil Hennessey, two of my favorite people in the entire world. So stay with us.
This portion of the show is presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and our TV broadcast sponsor is Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Supporting sponsors are DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Lip Chip LLC, Piranha, Florida HVAC Services, Crystal Cryo, Ocala Dog Ranch, and The Drinking Post. At Crystal Cryo, you can relax and enjoy a non-invasive cryo skin facial. Reduce fine lines and wrinkles and tighten the skin. Improve texture and tone. Stimulate collagen production. Reduce inflammation and acne. And increase blood flow to the skin, resulting in a more youthful, radiant appearance. And it all takes only about 30 minutes. Boost your confidence now and set up a consultation. Find Crystal Cryo at crystalcryo.net or on social media. Experience the ultimate in relaxation and rejuvenation. Pamper and revitalize your body, mind, and spirit at Crystal Cryo.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care seeks to be a leading international veterinary practice that provides state-of-the-art veterinary care to their patients while fostering professional relationships with their clients that stand the test of time. For 24/7 and the best in equine care, check out Peterson and Smith at petersonsmith.com or like them on Facebook now for more information.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
back on the Horse Talk Show presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancing Pete Rhoda from Complimentary Horsemanship, and we have Neil Hennessey from Ocala Dog Ranch, and Tamie Leedy from a list of things. Open Hands Animal Rescue, Florida Mounted, I could go on.
Sounds like your resume.
I know, right? Well,
That's why we get along.
That's right. She's a busy lady. That's why she gets it that we don't have time to socialize nearly enough. And actually, when she came in, I said, "Oh my gosh, I wish we both didn't work so much so we could actually hang out and do things that weren't work related." Anyway, I want to start by saying thank you for being here because I know you're very busy this week.
It's the season.
Yes, this is Neil's from Ocala Dog Ranch, the only place that I would take my dogs when I'm away. The only place I know they're actually in better hands than they are when they're with me. and just to solidify the fact that they know that too, is that there's a whole fence story coming soon to the Horse Talk Show. And when we get to that, I'll explain. But I don't have a fence at the moment. So Aslan has to be on a leash as he's going through a healing process, but Lucy usually gets zoomies, right? She gets out to run around.
She loves to run.
So because I have to put her on a leash right now because I have no fence, Aslan loses his mind when I go out the door with her because he thinks she might be going to Ocala Dog Ranch without him. And then when I come out with them together, both on a leash, Aslan runs to my car and jumps up at it like we're going to Ocala Dog Ranch. And I'm so sorry. We're not going to see your Uncle Neil. I'm sorry. But he gets beside himself with excitement. So if that doesn't tell you what a wonderful place you have, I don't know what
thank
does.
you.
And you've been such
They're
a
good
blessing.
dogs. We love having them stay with us.
You just love dogs, period. Let's face it. Right?
So how many do you have boarding right now, Neil?
We have got 18, and we'll probably have 23 tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
And that's our max. We don't take any more than 23 because we can't work with them and look after them if there's too many.
Yes.
So
Very good. Quality versus quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's wonderful, though, that people in Thanksgiving week trust you to take good care of the dogs.
Yes.
So
we're
they
very
can
lucky.
go.
Very lucky. It's our 7th year in business, and every year has got better and better and better. So, and we're very thankful for you because I know you're promoting us like crazy, and it's definitely showing. We get a lot of people that have horses that come to us. So it's thank you very much.
Yeah, we love you. We love you. So the Horse Talk Show is going to the dogs for this segment for a very, very important reason, and that is because there are too many unwanted dogs in Marion County at a variety of different rescues, and this event that we mentioned at the beginning of the first segment is so important. Dogs are forever, and when you get one, you got to keep it, and you got to love it. But we would like to find homes for the dogs that are going to be at an event that Tamie and Neil have joined forces here and come together to have this mega adoption event. Tamie, tell us, first of all, isn't it wonderful to work with Neil?
Absolutely. He's actually donating his facility for us to do this. And that's, a lot of people don't do that and won't do that. So thank you very, very much.
We all have to work together. We're a community when it comes to dogs.
Absolutely. And all animals, actually. Yep.
Well, we've got no room for horses.
He actually does.
I saw that back pasture.
I know, I was eyeing it myself.
What can we do back there? What about them BLM Mustangs?
Poor Neil. He's like, I got enough on my hands.
How many horses can we put on your property?
I know, right? So you might ask why we're talking about this on the Horse Talk Show. Well, most people who have horses have dogs. And most horses have barn buddies. A lot of farms have dogs. And we feel a huge responsibility to help where we can with any four-leggeds, actually. And we feel this event is a wonderful opportunity for you to find a forever barn buddy.
Yes, and we have probably 50 dogs coming to the event that we know of. And like Louisa had said earlier, we've got the Humane Society of Marion County, OHAR, Marion County Animal Services, Quality of Life,
Sheltering
Hands, Melissa Bell's Rescue, Wanda Cares. So Wanda, the Humane Society, and Marion County Air Animal Services and OHAR are all dogs. Sheltering Hands primarily does cats. Well, they do cats, and they don't have dogs. Quality of Life has primarily cats, but they do have a few dogs. And then Melissa Bell's rescue has actually been, even though she's primarily cats, she has been fostering for us and the Humane Society dogs that we had to take from
So
a bad
we're going to have any
situation.
cats at this?
No, because cats don't do
they
well
can't
on the
travel well.
outside. Right. It would have to be an inside event.
Yeah.
But
That's
they're
true.
there to represent, though.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
So if
wonderful.
you're wanting a cat, you could go to this and say, hey, I'm
Yes.
looking for a cat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also.
December 2nd, we're going to have vendors, right? And Neil
We are.
is having a dock diving event,
Yes, we're having
I'm
a dog
excited.
diving event.
which is so fun to watch.
Yeah, and if your dog has never done it, you can. You're welcome to take a try. We'll have tryouts for people that would like to bring their dog and get on the dock for 3 minutes for a
I'm going to
small
bring
fee.
Lucy.
You bring Lucy, and the
Aslan's going to have a fit.
and the new pool heater should be working by then, so the water should be
nice.
nice and warm.
Look at this. It's so cool.
So
Isn't that
Louisa,
cool?
have you ever done the dock diving?
no, but I want to.
Yeah.
I'm game.
We should raise some money and have some sponsorship on how many feet
Oh,
you jump.
that's a. Oh.
I'm in.
Let me talk to my insurance.
You won't need it, I promise.
Well, Lucy would do really good with
Lucy might be the
Yeah.
comedian of all comedians because she's big boned.
Big bone chunky girl.
She'd probably drop straight off and we'll have to jump in and rescue. You've
We
got
have
life
actually
jackets.
some really, really good pit bull type dogs that jump extremely well. I mean, the dog that was just on that clip there, the owner who's the judge, she has a pit bull that she rescued, and he's a phenomenal little dog. I mean, he does exceptionally well, and she does a lot of sports because of that dog. And he has his challenges because
Lucy,
he's a
there's
pity.
hope.
But no, I mean, you can find that with pit bulls. I mean, if you're willing to work with them or any dog, you can have a fine companion. And there's a lot of sports out there to do. So if you come down to the mega event and see if you can find your next best buddy.
We're going to put some photos up for you of some really cute dogs. I cannot promise you that they're not adopted. I cannot promise you they'll be there, but we're going to do a little run through of some real cuties so you can see some examples of what might be there. Oh, if you're listening on the radio, you've got to go to Equus Television and find us and watch us, or watch us on Facebook at the Horse Talk Show, because these guys are adorable. I mean, adorable. And like I said, I can't promise these actual dogs will still be available that day, but they'll be just as cute, I promise you. And Neil's promised me he's going to try and keep me out of that area so I don't go home with 5 dogs, because I would take them all, wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm, she would.
I would take them all.
Because then Neil's limit would be even less because most of your dogs would,
would
be,
be at Neil's. I know. Neil's probably like, oh, how many could she possibly end up with?
You just got to expand.
That's right.
How many more kennels can you put?
Yeah. And Louisa's wing.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be the horse talk show wing.
This is the Horse Talk Show wing. Oh,
with
dear.
with the stables in the back.
Oh, I'm liking
For
the
Ohar.
sound of this. I'm liking the sound of
It
this.
sounds like trouble.
It does. There's a lot of sad. Oh,
I know.
Oh, I want that one so bad. Is that a boy or girl?
I don't know. I have to ask Wanda.
Can we find out? Because Louisa. Oh no, you guys. I love you both. Thank you for what you
that
do.
sound means that we
Yes.
got to wrap it up. Thank you
We have
guys.
30 seconds. Neil, Hennessey, Ocala Dog Ranch, thank you for supporting this event. We love you so much. Thank you for all you do.
And thank you for
You're
promoting
amazing.
it.
Yes, we're blessed to have you in our community. Tamie, thank you for all
Yes,
you do.
ma'am.
I know
Thank
it's
you.
going to be a phenomenal event. December 2nd, Ocala Dog Ranch. You've got to be there. Watch the dock diving. You can go check out some of the most adorable dogs you've ever seen in your life.
I can
See the
vouch for that.
vendors. Have a great day. Don't forget to get cleaned up and be back at Strirrups and Strides that night. So stay with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. Have you ever heard of a horse that can talk? Listen to this. With your host, Louisa Barton. She's literally in love with every horse. Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. She's back in the saddle again. And now here's your host,
Pretty.
Louisa Barton! She's a Brit, she's got the gift of the gab, and her guests are fab.
Larson Farms is our TV broadcast sponsor. Mr. Richard Larson, a man of great integrity, cares about every single bale of hay and about taking care of his customers. He also has a huge heart for those genuinely in need. Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Hey there, horsemen. Are you tired of technology that doesn't fit your way of life? LipChip is ready to revolutionize your barn. Built by horsemen, for horsemen. LipChip knows how you ride. If you're tired of carrying around paperwork, dealing with long trailer lines, and juggling all your horse's details while trying to compete, then the answer is the HoofLink system. Simply implant, scan, and unlock. Each scan reveals everything you need to work, compete, and to protect your horses. View current health paperwork, pre-register for your next event, and even check in on your horse's health. Horsemen, let's keep our horses safe and make our lives at the barn a little easier. The future is here, and the future is LipChip. This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television. We're here at World Equestrian Centre. Actually, we've been watching a young lady riding this morning. Quite impressive, and she certainly is impressive in her division in the eventing world. She's a big name right now in the junior eventing world, and we're excited to have got to know her a little bit today and to find out that she's really only been doing this for a couple of years, which is super impressive. We're here with Reagan Samson. Reagan, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Watching you ride today, I fell in love with your horse.
Thank you.
Lovely personality, yes. Mackin?
Yes, his name is.
And his real name is McLaren.
That's his show name, but his bar name is Mackin.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about you. You kind of grew up doing other sports other than horse riding, right?
Yeah, so I started with like mostly gymnastics. When I was 2, I just walked around on the lunge line with riding horses, just walking. And then I did ice skating for a little bit. I did a season of basketball. For about a year, I did cheerleading, but I didn't love that very much. And
I love that.
I did karate for like 2 weeks and gymnastics for like 3 years.
So nothing that you just were really super passionate about?
Well, I really did love gymnastics, but I prefer riding now.
Of course, it was a horse, right?
Yeah.
So much better. So true. So your mum and dad found a farm.
Yes.
They loved the farm. They ended up buying the farm, and you ended up starting riding really just a couple of years ago.
Yes, just about 2 years and 6 months ago.
Wow. And you're 13 now.
Correct.
So in just about 2.5 years, you've kind of got to the top of your division. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your life, about a regular day for you. I know you spend about 5 or 6 hours a day at the barn, right?
Yes, so I only get to jump Mackin 2 days a week. I just go to school for like 7 hours, and then I come back to the barn and I do daily chores. We have to do one chore every day, and so I do a daily chore at the barn, and then I ride Mackin for about an hour, just walk, trotting, and cantering, flatting, and then 2 days of the week I jump.
So you have to do chores and learn about the care of the horse as well as the riding part,
Yes,
right?
and I feed once a week. I feed all the horses once a week, and then some weekends I
Wow. And how many horses are at the barn?
about 30.
So that's a big job then. That's not a little job. That's a big responsibility. And you do mucking too? Mucking stalls?
Well, I'm a feeder, but like there's many other riders at the barn that are muckers. We just split it between mucking and feeding.
That's fantastic. I love that you guys are all doing the work as well.
Yeah.
So talk about you started 2.5 years ago, and you started eventing. That's kind of the toughest horse sport because it's the triathlon. You have to be good at show jumping, you have to be good at cross country, and you have to be good at dressage to really excel. So what made you choose eventing? Challenge? Excitement?
Well, it's the only place that I've gone to and I just fell in love with eventing.
You did.
I just feel like any other event wouldn't be as fun as eventing. And so I've only ever done eventing, and I just love doing cross country, and I wouldn't want to stop doing cross country.
That was my favorite part too. I love the cross country. So it's exciting, but is it sometimes nerve-wracking? Do you get nervous?
Yes, definitely.
You do? How do you manage that? Are there ways you can calm yourself down?
I talk to my friends.
Do you? That's good, because there's a bunch of you all in the same sport and you all kind of work with each other. So even though you might be competitive with each other, sometimes you have each other for support, right?
Yeah.
I love that. Now tell us about your horse and his personality. He's 18.
He's 18.
He's lovely. I met him.
Yes.
I love him.
He gives kisses. I taught him to give kisses. And whenever you have a treat, you just point to your lips and he gives you a kiss. And he's very sweet. And he's about 15 too. He's a gray. And he used to go training with another rider at the barn named Noel. And they were super good. And now I'm just competing him novice.
That's so exciting. And you love him. Obviously, you're very attached to him. Yes.
Favorite horse.
Favorite horse. Everybody has to have that heart horse, right? So tell us about your goals. You're at the barn every day. You're also in school. So you have school and the barn, and you're not doing the other sports now. You're all focused on horses, which is great. And you're looking forward to like future career. Hopes maybe one day for the Olympics. Big bucket list goals like that.
Yes, I don't want to stop.
So tell us like what kind of challenges there are. Is it hard to balance school and riding and do really well at both?
I'm not a very good student. I'm better at riding, and I'm not very good at math, but I don't think it's too hard to do both. I do tutoring once a week, and I'm doing fine this year. So
Math was always my struggle too. I'll never forget my teacher telling me, Louisa, you're not logical. And I said, no, math's not logical. So I can certainly empathize with you on that one. So tell us a little bit about some of the other friends you have. I noticed when we were watching you in the arena, you were with one young lady, I can't remember her name. Isis, is that right? Yes. And she was riding with you, riding alongside, chatting, like encouraging each other in the schooling ring and when you went in to jump. So tell us a little bit about what it's like to have a group like your group, which is obviously you're all supporting each other.
I love my friend group, which is Kayla, Zoe, and Taylor. And my friend Riley and Leanne, I like them too. And I mostly hang out with Kayla, Zoe, and Taylor at school. That's all I ever hang out with. And we just talk about horses and forever, and we don't stop. And all of our friends that are at the school, like, well, actually 2 other girls that just listen to our conversations forever. They can name all the riders at the barn without even going there. That's what one of our friends does. And we love just talking about horses, and then talking to each other makes it easier to
accomplish things, to do well, right? Yeah, and you talk about horses. So Hanover Stables, that's where you all ride. That's where all the horses are.
Yes.
And so that's probably your favorite place to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You love that life. You just love the horse life.
Yes.
In 2.5 years, you've got to the kind of the top of your division. Why do you think that is?
Probably because I have many lessons a week and I spend lots of time riding, and that's all I ever do. I just go to the barn and I go to school, and it just takes a lot of practice and lots of lessons.
Yeah, so really staying at it, determination, and just sticking with it and riding a lot, lots of lessons.
Yes, and riding a bunch of horses can make you better at riding your horse. Just getting used to a bunch of different horses.
Now, Mackin wasn't your first horse that you tried eventing, so
No,
you had
he
some
wasn't.
others, right?
Yes, I started on an old mare at the barn named Anna, and she's just used for walk, trot, canter lessons. And I started on her for about 2 months. And then we bought 2 horses, Breeze and Boston, but I'm not riding them currently. We sold our horse Breeze to Leanna, and Boston is ridden by Riley right now. We're leasing him out so I can ride Mackin. But I evented after Anna, or I didn't really event her, I just did walk, trot, canter because I was just starting. And then I moved on to Rusty for about a year, and he took me to my first 3 shows, and I went cross-country schooling on him 1 time, and he really made me better. And then Otto, which is being loosed out to a girl named Lucy and Kate, 2 girls named Lucy and Kate. And then after Otto, I rode him for about 6 months, just jumping around. We weren't a very great fit. And now I have Mackin.
Now you have Mackin, and he's just perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
Congratulations to you on all you've accomplished. You're an amazing young
Thank
lady.
you.
We're going to keep watching you, and we're definitely coming to your barn to check out Hanover Stables.
Perfect.
I'm here with Reagan Samson, Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equigreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equigreen came to life. Equigreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Does your farm need a facelift? Has the harsh Florida climate left your barns, stable doors, and fences stained? J&S Pressure Washing has a professional team who can exceed your expectations and restore your farm to its former glory. Get rid of dust and cobwebs that can cause allergies and health issues for horses, and keep your horses safe by limiting fire hazards in the barn. J&S Pressure Washing can clean your house, your barns, your fences, and your driveway, and you can count on dependable and professional services. For more information, call Stephen at 352-502-5355.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancing Pete Rhoda. We also have Neil Hennessey from Ocala Dog Ranch, and Tamie Leedy is here from Open Hands Animal Rescue. We are about to kind of change it up a little bit and get a bit electrically charged. All your current electrical needs.
With Pat Myers Electric.
Yeah, enjoy. Very educational.
All right, so we're going to ask the difficult question to Pat Myers, Mr. Electric in my book, is, okay, you're not from Ocala, because this is the man I'm calling, but if you're not from Ocala, what should we look for an electrician?
So when you're looking for an electrician, you do have a lot of rights. You do have a lot of rights. If the number one thing I always tell my clients is, if someone pulls up in a truck and their license number is not on the truck, start asking questions. That is the big thing. No matter who you hire, make sure they're licensed and insured. And you can ask as many questions as you want, and you don't have to just ask the electrician. You can ask your county municipality, you can ask building departments, you can also look online at DBPR. They're going to tell you what people's license statuses are and if they are fully insured. So you do have a lot of rights. You can ask questions, and I mean, for most people, this is their livelihood. So you want to make sure you're protecting it, you're protecting the animals the best way you can, because a lot of people don't know what they're doing.
So you wouldn't be offended if I go, well, Pat, are you sure you should be messing with this?
Pete, we're 100% set up for that question. Like I said, education is totally key. We provide a certificate of insurance. We'll provide all of our county certification numbers and our license number. And every one of our trucks has our license number on it. And they all say licensed and insured. So we make sure we take care of our people.
And then you have a bunch of guys. I got the privilege of having Pat Myers himself come out and inspect the barn. What's your guys? I mean, you obviously are an outstanding guy. So when I hire people, I always like, you're a representation of me. So if I'm a good guy and I do things honestly, you've got to do it all. So how do you pick your guys?
That's very important. We always start our base when we hire people. We want them to be humble, hungry, and smart. We want to make sure that they have a good personality, right? It's just like picking out a good horse. You want to make sure they got a good personality, they're calm, they're relaxed, but still have confidence in what they do. We put a lot of effort into our guys. We have master electricians other than myself that work for us.
Wow.
Journeyman electricians. A lot of our guys have gone through a full 4-year apprenticeship program to learn to make sure that they actually know what they're talking about and what they're doing. And we participate in the apprenticeship program, so the guys that are coming on that don't have the training that they need, we have the ability to send them to school and make sure they get that training.
Wow.
So we always have quality electricians working for us.
Well, just like in the horse world, when I go around helping other trainers, I always can tell the difference between the ones that did about a 6 weeks course with an instructor or spent 6 weeks or 6 months with them, and the ones that spent years with someone. Because I spent years with Pat Pirelli and 3 years on...
It makes a difference.
Yeah, you learn a lot of stuff that goes around. So that's great, 4 years.
4 years of full apprenticeship, and that's on-the-job training. So they have to go to school and they have to work in the field at the same time. So they're learning the theory in the school and then applying it during the day. So it's an important program. We really support the program so that we can train real electricians to come out here and know what they're talking about.
So what's the biggest thing you see doing this? Like, what's your... like with horses, for me, it would be rearing horses or bucking horses or, stuff like that, or won't get on the trailer kind of thing. What is your being an electrician that might help somebody go, hey, I got that issue, I better get an electrician out here?
So the biggest issue is just not knowing what your system is like. People look at their system and they think, yeah, all of the electric works. And a lot of time, just like horse disciplines, not all of them are the same, which means it's the same thing with electricians. You can be a wonderful electrician that builds houses every single day, but you don't know what you don't know. you may not specialize in equine facilities, or you may not be around horses. Like our guys are trained, they know how to be around horses and respect them, and know that you don't just walk into a stall, or you don't just hold your hand out into a random horse's stall.
Thank you.
You don't drop screws in the aisle and things like that. So all of my guys, all of our people are trained to know how to handle those situations.
And who trains that?
I do.
Oh, well,
I do a lot of it.
I thought your wife would.
So, by fault, yeah, I train because my wife has trained me very well. So I'm just next in line because I can apply what I know with the electrical field to what we do in the equine community. So it goes hand in hand, making sure that the people who are working in your barn know about the field that you're in, at least a little bit, so they know how to act around horses and know how to respect your facility.
So you do houses, barns, all that kind of stuff?
So what we don't do new construction.
New construction.
We don't do new construction. We do service. So we handle what customers or homeowners need in their homes, in their barns. We specialize in taking care of people's barns, making sure that they are educated about their facility. As far as the electrical goes, we leave the horses up to you, Pete. We just try and educate people to make sure that they're getting the best out of their home, out of their barn, out of their facility. And
so do you feel that this is a specialty that a lot of electricians don't do, or you wanted to go that way because of your wife?
Yeah.
And you're in Ocala, Florida, the horse capital of the world.
I mean, that doesn't hurt.
That doesn't hurt at all.
It doesn't hurt at all. Definitely something that, my wife is very passionate about. So I spent a lot of time at the barn. And I actually had worked for a gentleman that specialized in these kind of facilities.
Oh, wow.
So I was able to, just like my apprentices, I was able to learn about horses in the evening and then apply it during the day. So when we opened for ourselves, this was very easy for us to move into. And there's a lot of electricians that say, oh yes, we work on barns. And they do work on barns and they do good work, but they may not know how horses act and what to look out for, or how the horse may act around your installation. And I feel like that's where we do specialize in that.
And you're going to say, hey, can you guys come get this horse because this isn't going to work?
Right. We actually have a team working on a large farm today, and they know that, don't show up early because they're using that space for their horses and making sure that they get their horses out nice and calm, and we're not disturbing the peace in that way. So yeah, that's something that we feel like we have a little bit of a niche in, so we can take care of your animals too.
Once again, thank you for your time, and hopefully you can do this a lot. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. We'll see you down the road.
Thank you to the presenting sponsor of this portion of the Horse Talk Show, Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to our TV broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Nirvana Medical Spa, TT Distributors, Summit Joint Performance, Equigreen, Midnight Rose Equestrian, the Florida Horse Park, Horse Farms Forever, and the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. The Equine Performance and Innovative Center, situated on 30 pristine acres in the horse capital of the world, is one of the finest and most complete conditioning and rehab centers for equines and canines in the nation, including an equine hyperbaric chamber, aqua pacer, water treadmill, cold water leg spa, equine swimming pool, Eurosizer, and more. Epic equine veterinarians specializing in rehab and conditioning. For more information, go to epcrehab.com or find them on social media.
This show is brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show this week, brought to you by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our television broadcast sponsor.
Idaho's finest alfalfa.
Louisa Barton here in the studio with Dancing Pete Roda, Tamie Leedy, and Neil Hennessey. And speaking of Dancing Pete Roda, it's time for his tip of the week.
Dancing Pete's tip of the week, brought to you by Complimentary Horsemanship. So the tip of the week is the process does not look like the product. And what that means is when you're teaching your horse, it shouldn't look like the final result. And I have a lot of students that have this issue. Is I always go, I have a little saying, a quality answer or the wrong answer with quality is better than the right answer with none. So when your horse turns and faces you and might not make it to where you wanted them, that's a better answer than they made it around and never checked in or had any kind of flexion or bend towards you. So you have to remember as we progress, just like the human, a quality answer is way better than the right answer, and there's no quality to it. So you gotta be okay with not having it be perfect as you're progressing, and you'll never get perfect. And would that be the same thing with the dogs, right, Neil? So don't get bent out of shape when it doesn't go exactly right, because it's a process.
That's right. It's a work in progress. I like that. Very good. And it's time for the Horse Talk Show to go to the dogs with your Ocala Dog Ranch tip of the week.
The Horse Talk Show goes to the dogs at Ocala Dog Ranch.
As the nights are getting longer, how about playing a game with your dog where you hide some treats around the house and have the dog go find them? Sounds corny, but actually the dogs have a lot of fun, and you'll get a little bit of peace and quiet as you send your dogs rummaging through the house to find the treats that you've hidden. Just remember to hide them somewhere where the dogs can get. Don't put them on top of the closet or something. So have fun with your dog, put some treats around, and enjoy these dark nights as they are approaching us.
Indoor games. Horses and dogs love games, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they enjoy it.
Mental stimulation.
That's right. We all need it. We're going to switch it up to a recap, an event that we had. I'm very thankful, actually, to Tamie Leedy for her assistance in making this event so successful. And that was the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games presented by Ag Pro. And it was just so phenomenal that we have such great news for next year for what we'll be doing. And getting the schools involved with education. But this was such an amazing event. We had so many hundreds of kids out there learning horse sports. It was so fun. So here's Isaac's recap of the event.
The Hobby Horse Equestrian Games presented by AgPro was a resounding success. From the wonderful opening ceremony with our veterans, to the Pat Myers Electric Parade of Breeds, to the exciting demos, followed by hundreds of young people learning horse sports from the safety of a stick horse. The weather was perfect, and the Florida Horse Park provided the ideal venue with lots of wide open spaces for folks to meet horses, shop in the vendor village, and line up to compete over the jumps, around the barrels, learn a dressage pattern, throw a rope, or pop some balloons. We even had a celebrity on hand to teach horse racing, and the fun wasn't over.
Woohoo! Let's do this!
With a very competitive polo match with the Ocala Polo Club in the afternoon. And the competition at the end of the day was hot for the awards. Trophies were given for Grand Champion, Reserve Grand Champion, the best stick horse, and the weirdest and wonkiest one too. We can't wait to see you back next year for the best in equine edutainment at the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games and All Breed Parade. Thank you to all the sponsors involved that made this event possible with free admission for all. And thank you to Piranha, the presenting sponsor of the Equine Initiative at the CEP. Without Piranha, none of this would be possible.
That was a blast. That was the best in equine edutainment ever, off all of the charts. And if you don't believe me, here's Isaac's personal testimony. And by the way, he doesn't exude, and you don't get phenomenals from Isaac. Isaac, tell us what you think of the Hobby Horse Equestrian Games 2023.
It was a huge improvement over last year. I would say a phenomenal event.
Did you say, hold on, did you say the word phenomenal?
I said phenomenal.
This is for Dancing Pete. This will be on the Horse Talk Show. I have evidence that he found it phenomenal. Thank you, Isaac. You never get a testimonial like that from Isaac, by the way. So
we do the show, and the first time we asked Isaac, so what'd you think? And he goes, you did well.
Yeah. Okay.
We did well?
Yeah, we kind of get like an okay, like not too bad. That was pretty exceptional. Really. So
stupendous is the top.
Stupendous is the top. One day
we had to ask him for that. We've never gotten it.
Yeah, one day I'll get a stupendous from Isaac. So quick mentions before we forget and before we get to the end of the show for the wonderful mega adoption event, and we certainly hope to see you there. I'll be there with Lucy. She'll be in her fat pants from Thanksgiving. Because yes, I do let them have table scraps, healthy table scraps. Oh, don't even look at me like that, Pete. So this is a dog's journey to a new home, a forever home, perhaps a barn buddy for your horse barn. This adoption event is December 2nd at the wonderful Ocala Dog Ranch, which is an absolutely lovely place to spend a beautiful day. We're going to have a wonderful time. There's going to be some vendors. There's going to be some dock diving. Can you say that 3 times without falling over your words?
If you're English, you can't.
Yeah, right, this is true. Lucy is going to go ahead and demonstrate in her life jacket, and hopefully she'll have a good time. But I'm very thankful to Neil and Ocala Dog Ranch for hosting this, and Tamie Leedy and from OHAR, and of course Humane Society and Wanda Cares, Sheltering Hands. Anyone else I missed? I'm sorry. And Florida Mounted, of course, is I'm sure supporting and sharing this event as well, as Tammie's part of that. So it's going to be a great event, and it's going to be a great opportunity to come out and find that dog that you've been looking for and give one a forever home. They need them.
Make this your early Christmas present.
That's right. And we've got another little poster here that Neil has up there as well for the event. And that's kind of cute. Mm-hmm. And look, the Horse Talk Show. Oh, that's not the one the Horse Talk Show has the hat on. But we do have one that the horse actually has a Santa hat on that Neil did for us. So that's going to be a great event at Ocala Dog Ranch. So make sure you get out there. And then don't forget that same day, later on in the evening, you can go to the Strirrups and Strides Bootleggers. Make sure you get your tickets for the 1920s style event.
And get your password, because this is a speakeasy. You have to have a password to get in. That's right.
And you can learn the Charleston, me with my 2 left feet. This is Saturday at 5 p.m., so you've got time to get home from the adoption event. And look, even if you're not looking to adopt right now, come out and take a look. And share the event with others, because it's really important as a community that we help get these dogs into homes. And as Pete mentioned earlier, if you're looking for a cat, you can come out and talk to the cat people, and they can help you find a cat. So it's just an opportunity to give a beloved 4-legged a new home.
Or give a donation.
Yeah, or give a donation to a great cause. Mm-hmm. So please get out there and enjoy the Ocala Dog Ranch. It'll be a beautiful day. Thank you all for being here very much. That sound means that we're at the end of the show. So whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world, or not, happy horsing around until the same time next week.
See you soon.